So here we are with episode 7 of the family circumstances of the Irregular Witch. Last episode, we've learned that our time with our loved ones are limited, but despite that, there's still plenty of time left. And then there's something about butts. Seems like we're back to a two-parter, judging from the title of this episode, so we'll just have to see how this goes. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonal and some seasonal shows like this one on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. I thought she was baking cookies. To which I would have been like, what the hell? They just look like coals, but that was just the oven. Here she is, cooking, bacon? Bacon? Cooking? Bacon. Bacon's more difficult than cooking. Has she learned to cook before? Does she already know how to cook? Oh shit, seems. Ooh. Well, better than most anime girls who can't cook but are very confident in it. Alright, let's see what these bakeries that you've got. Dude, I love the failing music. Just the music distorting and failing. God, it's like that one episode in Licorice Recoil. Chocolate cookies. You know what? Let's just let other people tell her about it instead of you, you know? Let's give them out. Let's give these cookies out. Gin eels. Oh. Oh, no. No. This is the time to not be. Okay, Viola was the one who was saying that the fucking fairies look like butts last episode. Maybe she should, like, put eyes on them, you know? Put little sprinkles. Don't worry. They're all speaking English. The fact that, like, she's not even holding it. Oh, it's... Yeah, it's... She's using tongues to... Oh god, it's steaming, too. Soda. No. No. Like I said, like, if you put sprinkles or whatever on it, like, to make it look like an eye, oh my god, it's even worse. Doesn't matter how old you are. Oh my god, she's just beating herself with it. Time to give it to people! Soda. Let's give most of it to Fennel. Oh, it's only been 6 minutes in and my cheeks are hurting. Oh my god, we had like a sexy cam there for- Like I said, you know, if you don't want to tell her it, just let her give it as gifts. Oh. Oh, Phoenix, you want some? See, look, Phoenix, you know what? Well, it's not exactly. Nobody has the heart. Dude, she even invited the genials. Wow. It's a... God bless you. Alright, I need that as a fucking sound as a sound beat. Oh my god. That's scary AF. The sleep fairy has insomnia? Dude, I would not be able to fucking sleep if that was the case. Oh, an autograph. Damn. How much do you think we can sell that for? You can't just sprinkle sand on your own eyes? I guess it doesn't work on himself? On fairies? It's like a drug? By sitting on their eye. Stress. Damn. He's working too many hours. Why don't we just knock you out? Damn, relatable. Damn. He's teaching her a reality. Oh my fucking god. You had a wife? A laser beam won't solve that. Oh, relatable. Oh my god. Have you tried going to a therapist? Oh, version 2. Isn't version 2 the one that heals you? That's terrifying without context. It's kind of terrifying with context. Damn, he's on vacation. Damn, Phoenix out here enjoying life. Understandable. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, not those melodies. So we'll sing it to you for only 4 minutes. We're keeping a very powerful creature. Damn. Damn. I mean, understandable. Milk into people's eyes? I've had a moment where I have put milk in my eyes before. Oh, the way his nose jiggled. His eyes are so... Maybe we should get, like, another sleep fairy? Kind of like how therapists go to other therapists for therapy. Oh my god, his eyes. It's putting another stress on him. Yeah. Yes, But also, if you force yourself to sleep, you're not gonna sleep. Okay, okay, you go to sleep then. What the? What the fuck? He deflated. Yeah. It's like the whole, like, using sleeping pills, you know? The therapist. Well, you've got the doctor, right? Going to the doctor. Just take him to the doctor. Did they also pay the bill for you? Like, what? Oh my god. Damn it. These are like advice that you would say in like a kid show or some shit. But understandable first. Wow. Tell your wife, we should go to couples therapy. Ooh, the sand. Here's the addictive drugs. Oh, damn. Sell it, huh? Oh, there he goes. Wow, the Sandman was pretty cool. What a cool guy. I'll buy it. Damn, man just gave you like 5 million gold bars. I'm buying it. What? Alright, that's a lot of pressure. Oh, that's a lot of pressure. Oh, shit. And now she can't sleep because of the sand. Ah. All right, that was a pretty good episode. I like that. Thank the fuck God the the fucking cookie portion only took like 9 minutes or something, right? To even take half of it, and then the majority was about the Sandman, which was in its way, right, talking about the idea of insomnia and how sleep is good for you, which, you know, it's good. It's a nice it's a nice message to bring it up. I mean, literally the way that they were saying it towards the end, you know, it's like, sometimes things like these are better to consult a professional than trying to solve it yourself. Which, understandable, right? Oh yeah, I've kind of have these conversations before with, in, anime for, insomniacs after school. So, I mean, that whole thing is literally talking about insomnia and stuff, so. I don't sleep and I can't sleep. For not being able to sleep. Mm-hmm. Any inability to sleep is a serious. Wow, he's giving really good advice. Yeah. God, he says that with such a fucking those bloodshot eyes. Meanwhile, Alyssa is just a consultation corner. Alright, now we're gonna go back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 7 of the family circumstances of the Irregular Witch. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty nice episode. The first part, I don't really think that there's anything in particular to talk about? I mean, it's literally just one big old fucking shit joke. So, and then and then here is Alyssa, who's just having a hard time grasping on, just telling your daughter the plain old truth. Because sometimes it's hard to say the truth, especially if your kid is having so much fun and you're just like, I don't want to spoil their fun and such, right? So I'd rather just tell them a white lie instead, which it's an understandable feeling as a as a parent and such. But sometimes you gotta tell them the truth in hopes for them to not embarrass themselves in front of other people. Albeit, I think Viola would be devastated to have embarrassed herself in front of her mom of all people. Which is why, I was like, that's why maybe, whatever, let's just have her face her own consequences. It's like the dad who looks at their kid with a fork and they're about to stick it in like a little fucking socket, and the dad's just like, whatever, the kid will fucking learn. Kid get learned by just shocking themselves. I was just hoping, like, hopefully she can give that out to people, and then somebody will eventually say it. But it seems like towards the end of this whole spiel, she invited everybody to eat these cookies with her. And I would assume that everybody didn't have the heart to tell it to Viola just because of how happy she is. And it's just like, shit, you don't want to spoil their fun. Although I do love that Phoenix was the one who comes in just to be like, hey, you shouldn't be playing with food out here. Bad, lady, bad. But also, here he is with a whole fucking plate of them. Also, I love that they laid out a nice little cloth for him so then he can sit down. That's very cute. Oh, and then the idea of the gin eels speaking in English. So good. And then this motherfucker, hold on, this motherfucker who just goes and he says, God bless you. I love it. But in the next section, we get to see the sleep fairy who has insomnia. And I think that even though it's displayed in a comedic fashion, I think that it's able to go through that insomnia isn't just the whole idea of, oh, you, oh, you just can't sleep? Why don't you try sleeping then? Yeah. It gets deeper into like the root reason on why the Sandman can't fucking sleep. It's a whole accumulation of stress, right? His wife left him. And hold on, what is the other one? There's also a huge pressure on my bladder, and the pain in all my joints bothers me. All this accumulation of stress that's like causing him to not be able to sleep. And then there's the stress of like, oh shit, I haven't slept in a while. I feel I feel like shit. And so I need to sleep. I have to sleep. And you're kind of in that cycle of like, I need to sleep. This is I'm not normal if I can't sleep in the same cycle as everybody else. And so that stresses you out even more as you're literally in bed trying to sleep, right? You're too busy worrying about everything else. That being said, as I mentioned in Insomniac After School, I don't have a problem with insomnia. I don't really suffer from insomnia. I'm just a person who is a night owl, and I stay up really late and such, but I haven't really stayed up as late as much during these times. I guess I kind of need to wake up early to record. Because it gets way too freaking hot in the afternoon. Anyways, I'm just a person who don't really sleep early. I sleep very late at night, and I wake up late in the morning, or sometimes in the afternoon as well. But not that I suffer from insomnia. I kind of suffer from sleeping too much. Like the typical cycle that a person should get is about 6 to 8 hours, 7 to 8 at best. But I sometimes, I feel most of the days of the week, not maybe not as much. I feel like my sleep schedule's been kind of fixed for the most part because I have to wake up to record. But before I'd fix that schedule, I would sleep in, and I would sleep like 10 hours sometimes, right? I'd sleep like 9, 10, 11 hours sometimes, and if it's really bad, I'll end up sleeping for 12 hours, right? I sleep a lot. So I suffer from not being able to to get up and just want to continue to be in dreamland instead. So insomnia, not really something that I've really gone through, right? I've never really gone through a period of my life where I just can't sleep for a long time. No, I just get through periods of my life where I sleep too much. But there was this one part where Alyssa suggests, why don't you just have some hot milk and cookies? That's going to make you sleepy and fall asleep, right? And then Sandmann just puts his hands up and he just slams it. He's like, milk really is the solution? And I was just like, that's so funny, because like that's probably a lot of people's reaction who suffers from insomnia, and then they get like their family or somebody who's very ignorant about the idea of insomnia. I was a victim of that too, in terms of, you know, I've sometimes recommended people like, have you tried drinking hot milk or whatever, right? I've been that person before, but I've also kind of like been in this solution in this situation like Alyssa, where I don't really say it. I mean, I still did kind of say it out of like ignorance, but like I didn't really say it in terms of like, oh, this is the solution. Why haven't you tried it? That sort of thing, right? I wasn't really trying to be arrogant about the whole thing. I was just feeling like I was trying to be genuinely helpful. But the way that Sandmann reacts to it, that's probably the way that people with insomnia would react. It's just like, oh shit! This whole time, all I really needed was hot milk and I'm just gonna fucking fall asleep? So I love that. Just the way that his reaction, but also it brings in that comedic aspect of like, oh, one of his colleagues, right? One of the sleep fairies would pour milk into people's eyes. Which is just like, oh, putting sand into your eyes is also kind of bad. It's also bad as well. I mean, it's sand, right? It's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere. I guess pouring milk into your eyes would be better than sand. But, well, as I mentioned, I have put milk in my eyes before, and that was only because I accidentally put a really, really hot sauce into my eyes. And, like, I did that by accident, out of hot sauce, and, like, the bottle was leaking, and I did realize that the bottle was leaking, and I kind of just wiped it away, but I didn't wash my hands, I just wiped it away, and of course, if you just wipe hot sauce away from it, it's not going away. So, despite me wiping it away, I totally forgot that I had hot sauce in my eye, and I just touched it once, and immediately that eye was just on fire for a good 30 minutes. I was like, this is awful, and it was getting to the point where I just had to put milk in my eye just in hope that it would, at the very least, stop it from burning so much. Because water wasn't working. You know, I never really searched up on whether you should have put milk in your eyes or not, but that was once, you know, I only did it once. It's not like a repeat incident or whatever. But as I mentioned, I like the message that this part was able to convey through its comedic aspect, and with the Sandmann here when Alyssa was saying maybe it's not best to try to force yourself to sleep, which is, I mean, it's an understandable thing, because if you try to force yourself to do it, your body's gonna try and fight back again. And also with Viola saying maybe he's thinking, I have to sleep so hard that it's having the opposite effect. Right? You're stressing yourself out, thinking about like, oh, I need to sleep. And then the Sandmann comes out and he's just like, you must never think that you don't need sleep. Which, it's not particularly what they were saying. Just saying that you shouldn't force yourself to go to sleep, because like, it's gonna do the opposite effect. And he just starts going into like the statistics. Insufficient sleep causes all sorts of health problems, which understandable, right? Depression, lifestyle-related diseases, hormone imbalances, and autonomic dysfunctions. Jesus Christ, dude. He's like, yeah, the list goes on. People stay up late thinking it's no big deal, but if the sleep debt accumulates too much, only death awaits, which is true, right? You could literally die from lack of sleep, and I would assume that's one of the reasons that people would die when they're working in like black companies or something, right? In Japan, where you're overworked and you're working over all the time and you barely get any sleep, and overworking and not sleeping enough, like that's your body is just gonna fucking give out. That's why we have a good amount of izakais about people who work in an office and then they just die from overwork. The sleep fairy, very aggressive. he's over here. That's a sleep fairy. Let me say one thing. Everyone, go to sleep. And it's just his eyes. Like, holy shit, dude. If I saw this man, if I had magic and I could see this man, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Alright? I've never had sleep paralysis before, but if I saw this man, I would think that he is my sleep paralysis demon. Towards the end-ish of this part, I mean, with the Sandman deflated and everything, Alyssa and Viola were thinking like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't force him to go to sleep, right? Maybe we shouldn't get Phoenix to come out and just fucking knock him out, because that's just a stopgap, right? That's just it's not a good solution. It's like the idea of using sleeping pills, especially if you have to constantly use sleeping pills. That's not good for you, and for the most part, you know, like the whole idea of sleeping pills, at least what I think, anyways. I don't know what the doctors think, but they're the professionals. Listen to them, not me. But the way that I use sleeping pills, I don't really use sleeping pills. Hold on. I have these, right? They're like melatonins. It's like little candies and whatever. Haven't really had these in a while, so they've just kind of been laying here. But I used to use them for trying to get myself set on like a specific time to when to sleep, because that one is like it takes like 1 hour for it to go, so I take it an hour before when I want to go to sleep. And the way that I try to use it is that I try to correct my sleeping behavior, right? So hopefully I'll get to that point where I don't need to use it anymore, and by the time it's 9 o'clock or whatever, Jesus Christ, sleeping at 9 o'clock, sleeping at 10 o'clock, what the fuck? But whenever the time that I need to sleep, hopefully my body is telling me, all right, you know, it's time to take a nap. So let's get to bed and let's go to sleep. Perhaps for people who are dealing with insomnia, it might not work for them, right? Their body is not going to tell them to go to sleep because they have so much outside forces and internal forces that's like causing them this amount of stress and pressure, and like they can't sleep because of that. And so just using sleeping pills or melatonins, it's only all it really does is kind of just pushes the problem aside. And so here they come to realize that Phoenix, the melatonin, isn't going to help. And so they says there's only one place to go. And of course the one place to go is going to the doctor. God. And here, towards the end, with Alyssa and Viola, they say it almost like it's a kid show, as I said, where Alyssa says, consulting a professional is definitely better than trying to solve things as a layman. And then Viola says, don't bottle up your worries. And just the way that the background is too, right? It just feels like, wow, this is like a message to talk to kids. You know, we gotta teach the kids that sleeping is important. But you know what? I'm the opposite. If you're a kid and you're young and healthy now, look, take all the opportunity that you can. And if you want to stay up late, fucking do it. But like, man, once you're an adult, Jesus Christ, you can't do it anymore. You're getting too old for that shit. But also, at the same time, you need to take care of yourself, alright, kids? Because if you don't take care of yourself, dude, you're gonna get so much health problems by the time you're like 25. Once you turn 25, your back's gonna be fucking hurting, and like everything in your body is going to be hurting, and at some point you're gonna be like, well, fuck. Maybe I should have taken care of my body a lot better when I was young, so then I wouldn't have to suffer through all these problems. Because, yeah, the thing with kids is that they think they're invincible, and they can do whatever the fuck they want. And they kind of do, but the thing with kids is that they live in the present, right? They don't think about the future, so by the time they become adults, they're suffering from all the consequences that they've done as a kid. Don't be me, kids. Take care of your body. So then your future self won't fucking hate you. And at the end, I love this consultation corner that they had, where the narrator says, I know I need to sleep. In fact, I want to sleep, but I can't. Can you answer that question, I believe? What should I do? Can you answer our viewer's question? The consultation period. God. And as he says, I expressed myself poorly before, so he has to explain himself in a much better manner, right? Now that hopefully he's getting sleep again. And he's also talking to his wife again as well. But it's important to know there's a difference between I don't sleep and I can't sleep, which is understandable. As I said, you know, I'm part of the I don't sleep camp. And I'm also part of the I can't wake up camp. There's no need to feel guilty about not being able to sleep. And again, that's how it is, right? A lot of people, I would assume, with insomnia would feel that they are not a normal person, a normal human being. But each of us has their own circumstances. But I believe any inability to sleep is a serious warning sign. Of course, right? It was for me, says the sleep fairy. Please try to determine whether the cause is environmental or biological, and use the appropriate organization, facilities, and systems to resolve it. So, I like that. He's just saying, like, figure out what is causing your insomnia instead of just going and being like, oh god, I can't sleep, you know, and just stressing about how much you can't sleep. Just figure out why you're unable to sleep, what's causing you all this stress, right? It's like, again, in Insomniac, after school, we kind of we start to get into the root of the reasons of our two main characters and the reason why they don't have why they have insomnia in the first place. And I love that the Sandmann is saying use the appropriate organization, facilities, and systems, right? Use what you have at hands, and instead of trying to solve it yourself, as what we've learned with what we learned with the whole scenario before this consultation period. So yeah, I enjoyed this episode, and I think that it was able to display the message through its comedic aspect. So very fun, and I feel like a broken record. I'm just repeating myself. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.